Welcome, everybody, to World of Dance. This is episode number 6. And for the first time ever, we are live on StreamYard. So we are broadcasting live today to Facebook and YouTube. My guest today is the incredible Veronica Castilla. She will be joining me shortly. I am so excited to sit down and talk with her today. You guys are going to love this conversation. She can do it all, and we're going to talk about all of it. Again, last week I had the fabulous Tanya Alamana Kensinker. She was a fabulous guest. You can catch that full episode on my YouTube page and follow her online. You can follow her on Facebook and on Instagram. She was awesome. I love talking to her. Everyone knows she's the queen of the bachata world. We did talk a little bit about salsa, but what I'm really excited about today is with Veronica, we get to talk not just about salsa, but we also get to talk about hustle, which is one of my favorite styles of dance. And this girl can do it all. So without further ado, let me bring on Miss Veronica Castilla. Hello, gorgeous.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me well?
I can hear you well. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly. Thank you. Thank you so much for being with me today on the show.
Thank you for having me. This is an honor.
This is going to be so much fun. So, because this is a new format, I'm just going to let our viewers know because this isn't just a regular Facebook Live. You are going to see me, unfortunately, most of the time, unlike before, where I could hide. So, we will be showing Veronica and myself, but we will also be showing videos. So, before we get to all of that, let's start with the important stuff, okay? Let's talk about you and your background. So, why don't you tell everybody how your dance life began?
Well, it was a really, really long time ago. It started when I was in Head Start, believe it or not. I joined the little dance group that they had. I don't remember this because I was about 4 years old, but my parents have pictures of me in like a little can dress, and they have videos of me dancing to Janet Jackson Escapade, and I had this
Oh,
neon hat
yes.
on, and I was going like this. And my arms are like flapping all over the place, and my mom loves to embarrass me by showing that video.
Oh my God.
Um,
I
but
love
yeah,
it.
I know. So it started then, and then in elementary school and middle school and high school, I just always begged to be put in the dance programs.
Hmm.
And so in elementary school, I was a cheerleader. In middle school, I was also part of the drill team. And then in eighth grade, I made it to be a cheerleader. I had to audition and I didn't make it in sixth or seventh grade.
Oh, wow.
I finally made it in eighth grade, and I was so excited. And then when I was transferring to freshman year, you know how they have an orientation at the school, and the high
Of
school
course.
comes with like the band and every extracurricular activity comes and they try to recruit you. And so when that happened, I saw this fine arts school come and they did jazz. And when they were doing jazz, I was like, okay, that's more than cheerleading. And I'm doing cheerleading and it's all
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah, for
And
sure.
so I saw them and I said, well, that's what I should be doing. And so I signed up with them, and for the next 4 years I learned ballet, jazz, tap, flamenco, and hip hop. And it
Wow,
was
you're trained in everything.
a little bit, yeah, I would say. And so my dance teachers, it was these two sisters, and they had separate classes, but somehow
Okay.
they allowed me to jump back and forth from each class. So I was able to learn all of the routines. And whenever we'd have dance recitals at the end of the year, I was in like all the routines. I'd always have to like go change my clothes really quickly. Oh, I'm going to tell you one other story. So
Oh, please
in
do. Please do.
story time.
Story time. I
So
love it.
so in high school, I was a sophomore and I was preparing for the recital. And there was this one, believe it or not, it was a salsa routine, but it was not really salsa. We were faking it till we made it. We really were not dancing salsa because I
I know all
realized
about
that
that.
I realized that once I moved to New York. And then I was like, oh, that's salsa. But Anyway, so we did a little salsa routine, and I was being really, really stubborn about, I want to perform in it. I want to perform in it. So I asked my boyfriend at the time to learn the routine, the choreography in one night. The recital was the next day. And so then, yeah, so we all got together at his house, and it just so happened that he got a new dog, but he was an older dog, and it was an Akita. Do you know what an
Okay.
Akita is? Like a
Mhm.
wolf dog. So the
Mhm.
head is like the size of a basketball. It was huge. And he goes, do y'all, after the rehearsal, he goes, do y'all want to go outside and meet my dog? And I was like, sure, okay. So everybody goes outside and everybody's touching him but me. Like I stayed a little bit away, like I want to say like 10 feet away. And then I made a comment, and that was stupid of me because he understood. I said that my ex-boyfriend's dog, the one he had before, was
Mm.
better. Dude, the dog looked at me and went "Rrrr," and he
Oh my
came
god, I
at
would have
me.
died.
He came at me and he bit my butt. No joke. Yes, he
He bit
bit
your
my butt.
butt?
He bit my butt and he wouldn't let go.
Ouch.
So my ex-boyfriend at the time, he grabbed the dog from the back legs and was pulling him and pulling, and he wouldn't let go of me, and I was holding on to a wall, and I was like, ah,
Oh
like
my
this.
god.
And then finally, I don't know what it was, but he like latched his mouth, and I ran. Like I ran upstairs, and I was like, "Oh my god, the dog bit me! The dog bit me!" And finally, I didn't feel no pain at that time. Once I looked at what had happened in my pants, and I saw blood
Oh
and
my god.
fat, I was like, "Ah!" That's when I felt all the pain. Went to the hospital, like to the emergency room, and then the following day before my recital I went to my doctor, and I was like crying, and he goes, why are you crying? And I said, because am I going to be able to dance tonight? And he goes, sweetie, you can do whatever you want. He
Oh
goes,
my
if you
god.
feel up to it, you could do it. And I was like, oh, okay. So went home, put gauze, got all my costumes together and went to the recital. And then I was performing, and in the middle of one of the routines, my mom sees blood on my butt.
Oh
So
my
she
god.
runs, I know. So she runs backstage and she goes, Vero, you're bleeding, you're bleeding. And so we changed the gauze and everything, put on the next costume, and go
Oh
back
my
out there. It
god.
was so much fun. But
You didn't
yeah,
know that
not
was
the
preparation for your future life, right? With the
right,
competition and the last minute craziness of the salsa world.
right? Things happen and the show must go on.
Mm,
So,
so true.
you know, but that was,
Alright.
so that was high school.
Okay.
Sorry. And my dance teacher, she invited me to come to her house after school because she had a dance studio in her house.
Oh,
And so
wow.
she'd ask, I know, so she would ask me to teach her kids from ages 4 to 16. And so whatever I would learn at the magnet school, at the fine arts school, I would come home after school with her and teach it to the kids. And so it was just
Wow.
extra practice, more and more practice and practice. And then I auditioned for a school here in New York, and I made it, and then I came here, and then the rest is history.
The rest is history. So I'm gonna try something real quick. This is my first time using this, so I'm hoping you will
Okay.
still see me while I do this. Do you still see me?
Okay.
Okay, cool. So
Yes.
let's talk about the beginnings of your career with how did you join
Oh my Jesus.
the partnership with Nelson and Descarga Latina? How'd this come to be?
Okay. So I yes, I graduated from the musical theater school here in New York that I came to, and I became a waitress because I couldn't, I mean, I had to pay my bills and stuff, and I told my mom, like, I'm cut off. I want to survive in New York by myself. So I became a waitress, and then I was waitressing for, I think it was a year and a half, and I had this epiphany where I was like, okay, Vero, you came to New York to dance. You didn't come here to be a waitress. You could do that back home. So I decided to walk into dance sport, and that was on 59th Street, Columbus Circle.
Okay.
And then shortly after I started, shortly after I got hired at Dance Sport, Nelson got hired at Dance Sport. And so what happened was he was going through some issues with his partnership, and he decided to ask me to dance with him. And yeah, he just taught me the choreographies. To be honest with you, at that point with this video that you see right there, I'm a beginner. Like, no joke, I am a beginner. I still can't even really social dance that good. Nelson taught me this choreography, and we just started traveling in 2007.
Wow.
I mean, that might have been Slovenia, which was at the end of 2007, and we actually didn't get our bags, our suitcases. They didn't get there with us. We didn't get them until we had to put on our costumes and run downstairs and do the
Oh
show.
my God.
That was fun too.
So I guess that was the first time you realized that when you're
I
traveling for
know.
a
So with
performance, don't
Nelson,
check your luggage. Don't check the costume.
girl, girl, that was a lesson on the very first trip. The very first trip, I was like, oh no, I had no makeup, nothing with me. I had to use the same clothes for 3 days. They
Oh
had to
my
give
God.
us their gear, like their t-shirts that they were selling. They gave us that to wear, and then finally on the Saturday, because back in the day when I was
Mhm.
traveling with Nelson in 2007, we used to leave on like Wednesday. We didn't.
Oh yeah.
Nowadays you go on to a congress on Friday. Like, some people leave on Fridays, some on Thursday, but we used to leave on like Wednesday. And so we had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday was the show. So we didn't have clothes until Saturday. That was crazy.
That's crazy, man.
It was
The
fun.
stress of that, I'm sure, considering
I
it was
know.
like your first time going. I can imagine what you were thinking and going through, like the anxiety levels on and just up here.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
talk to
And
me
then,
about the partnership with him and the growing experience.
oh,
Talk to me about that.
it was awesome. Well, yeah, so he taught me that choreography, and we started traveling Europe, like, everywhere. I think we went to London in 2008 like 4 times. That was crazy.
Wow.
But just what he would do and how he got me to learn how to social dance is he would get all of the pros at every congress to dance with me, and he'd just be like, here, dance with her, here, dance with her, and I'm like, Nelson, like, I was just nervous. But that's how I grew. I basically learned how to really social dance out there, not even here in New York.
But in the
It was
world.
awesome. Yeah, in the world, which
I
was
love
great.
it. I love it. Talk to me about Nelson
Hmm.
as a partner, because we all know Nelson and he's such a fun guy. But talk to me as Nelson, as like the person, the partner that you danced with and traveled with. And if Nelson, if you're watching this, I
He's
hope
the
we
same.
embarrassed you just a little bit.
Uh, no, he's the same, Sharonne. I mean, he's the same funny guy that everybody knows. That's him. Always. We're always laughing, always joking around. Yeah, he's the mayor. I call him the mayor. Everywhere we go, he has a crowd around him just listening to his jokes or his stories. Because, I mean, he's a salsa pioneer, salsa on two pioneer, and I mean, on two would not be where it is without him and Descarga Latina. So
Very true.
it's just,
Can
I'm very blessed and honored to have danced with Nelson.
Speaking of blessed and honored, this was something I didn't know existed. This video right here, if I'm not mistaken, this is you and
Oh
Nelson
yeah.
performing with Anya and Luis. So can you tell me
Yes,
about this?
ma'am. That
Because
was in
I had no
London.
idea that this existed. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, this is gold. I have to air it.
So Anya and Luis used to work at Dance Sport too. So the four of us worked there at the same time. And I remember Anya and Luis started competing at the ESPN World Salsa Championship. And I want to believe, because this was such a long time ago, but I want to believe that this is one of their routines that we converted into a couples routine. But yeah, we only did it once. I can't believe it. We basically, like, that's like the only video of us doing this routine.
And I
But it was
found
great to
it.
work with Luis and Anya.
It
I
looks like a
know.
fun piece. You guys look so good together on stage, all of you. Like, I love it. I warned Danya too. I said, if you catch the show today,
Thank
you make a
you.
little appearance in the first video. So yeah, no, it looks great. Were there any other collaborations that you really loved being able to do in your travels? Oh, you're muted, Vera. Vera, we can't hear you. You muted yourself.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. I didn't even
Can
know
you hear
you
me
could
now?
mute yourself on here. Yes, I
The
can hear
thing
you
is that
now.
I just received a phone call and I just received a phone call and I quickly hung it up, and I think that's what muted my
Oh,
mic. Sorry about that.
it's okay. It's okay. Technology's fun like that.
But yeah, yes. So other collaborations, I think with Nelson we collaborated with Sharif and Tanisha, who are from Curacao, and
Oh,
that was really fun too. What else? I mean, collaborations. I don't know. I don't know if I've done any other collaborations.
okay. Well, this is that dance sport, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you
Again, that's
still
the
teach
beginning.
there?
I'm telling you, even no, I don't. No.
Oh, okay.
Dance sport actually has closed down since the pandemic. So, but I left dance sport in
Oh,
around 2012. Whoa.
okay.
Are you
But this was there.
looking at the
Okay.
video? You're like, oh,
I know. It's first of all, you dance beautifully. I've always thought that you're a beautiful dancer. I
thank
mean,
you.
that goes without saying. You are beyond incredible. You have so many titles, right? I mean, you
Oh,
are a very accomplished dancer. So you'll forgive me if sometimes when I'm watching you, I get a little like, oh, she's so good. I can't help it.
no.
So talk to
And
me
it's
real quick
just
because
crazy to me because,
go ahead, go ahead.
oh no, go ahead, go ahead.
No, no,
I
this
was
is
just
your
saying that
interview.
it's crazy to me because that was the beginning. Like, it was just nuts. I had all this ballet and jazz and all this dance training, but not really salsa. So to see myself in those videos, I'm like, wow, like, give yourself some credit, like you were doing pretty good.
So there's a bunch of people, by the way, saying hi to you. I don't know if you can see it. Destiny responded with my sister with a bunch of hearts.
Aww.
Ruiz, Betty, love you, Vero. Debbie Levin just sent you a bunch of hearts. You're
Aww.
getting a lot of love, girl. Everybody loves you.
Hey guys.
So
Oh,
we've been
well,
talking a
that's
little
really
bit
cool.
about your salsa background and your performing with Nelson. But in my research for this interview and my pulling up all these videos, and there are so many more to come, the hustle stuff is at the same time. So like most of this playlist you're gonna see, we're gonna be going back and forth between hustle and salsa because they seem to be at the same time. So can you talk to me a little bit about how your love for hustle came to be?
Okay. So at dance sport, they didn't want us to be one trick ponies. They were like, you have to learn all the dances. You can't just learn salsa, like you have to learn salsa, Argentine tango, hustle, cha-cha, rumba, everything. So every night they had a different style party. So on Monday nights it was hustle, Tuesday
Mhm.
nights was salsa, Wednesday Argentine tango, and so on and so forth. And every night I'd be there till the end of every party, just practicing my butt off. And on Monday nights for hustle, I was just so, again, blessed to be around so many good hustle dancers and to be able to
Mhm.
just dance with them and have them throw me around. Um, I just love I love learning new things, like new dances. And so I feel like the beginning of your education in any style of dance is always the best because you get to make all these mistakes and it's just organic and you're having fun and stuff like that. So when I first started learning hustle, I just completely fell in love with it because I felt more free. Like salsa, I love salsa too, but I feel like salsa, I'm confined into this little box, like 1, 2, 3, 5, 6,
Yes.
7. And for hustle, I just feel like I can move and I can be big and I can use my jazz and my ballet, and like it's just so much fun. But I fell in love with it because of that Monday nights at Dance Sport and also IHSC,
Hmm.
Billy Fajardo's event. I went there. I don't know if you've seen the video of 2008 where all these guys are throwing me around. That was
I
at
couldn't find it. I
IHSC,
heard about
and
it, but I
I
couldn't find it.
just that's because my name's not on it. It's just called Late Night Hustle.
Oh
But
man.
yeah, uh, it's okay. But
But
this
yeah,
this
so
is in
that's IHSC,
Roma. This is
right?
in Italy too.
Yeah, this is you and Nelson in Italy.
For the hustle, yes. In Italy, yes. In Roma, in Rome. When in
Now,
Rome.
Nelson was also dancing hustle with you
Oh
too,
man.
right? At Dance Sport.
Oh yeah. I mean, Nelson. Yeah. I mean, he knows hustle from before. So yeah, at Dance Sport when he just throw you around a little, and love his moves because he incorporates a lot of his salsa into his hustle, and so it's really fun.
Yes, this is very true. As someone who's danced with him on occasion, he does do that. And he's a great lead. So it's so much fun to dance with him. But okay, so back to hustle because this
Yes.
video will keep going. Talk to
You
me
always
more
feel
about
safe with him.
agreed. Agreed. He's a very solid lead.
Hustle, yes, yes. So the hustle, so in 2008, that's when I was in IHSC, and I believe the following year. So
Oh, oh no, we seem to have lost Vero. I don't know what happened. She'll be right back. I think she had a problem with her connection. I'm going to send her a little message on my phone real quick and we will get back to her. In the meantime, I'm going to let you watch a little bit of this video while I message her. Oh, she's back. I got her. Hey, girl, you're back. We lost you.
I'm back.
It's all right. I just
I
got to
know,
entertain
sorry.
everybody
I
and
don't
I
know
got to
what
watch the
happened.
video a little bit. It's okay. Technology, you got to love it. So you were saying, I'm so sorry about
So
that.
hustle. So okay. No, no, it's okay. So you saw the video that you just played before of me and Nelson dancing at Dance Sport.
Hmm.
Okay, so that I believe like one of those nights when Nelson and I were performing at Dance Sport, there's this coach that used to coach at Dance Sport, and his name is Arthur Gilliams, and
Okay.
he saw me dancing with Nelson, and he came up to me afterwards and says, "Hey, hi, I'm Arthur," and I'm like, "Oh, hi, nice to meet you," and he goes, you are a great dancer, and then he goes, give me 3 months of your life and I will make you a champion. And I'm like, okay. And he says, I want to teach you a hustle routine and dance with Reiner. And I was like, oh, okay. So we just started seeing 3 times a week. Reiner used to be a dancer in Vegas, so he knows like all the big tricks and stuff like that. And so he basically trained me along with Arthur Gilliams, and yeah, I mean for free, honestly. Like it was just amazing all the training that I got from him. And yeah, so we put together a routine to Christina. No, no, no. It was MacArthur Park. MacArthur Park. And that was really fun. I was doing tricks and stuff that I just had never done before. And that was always what I love. I love to be in the air. I love to do tricks. I love to fly. I love heights. So this was perfect for me. And so, yeah, we trained for 3 months and we put a routine together. And then we competed at the New York Hustle Congress when it used to kind of be together with the Salsa Congress.
Hmm.
And we competed against Victor and Katia, I remember. And yeah, we didn't win that time, but I was just so excited to be doing all of these big lip tricks that I didn't really care. I was just like, yay. But yeah, so
I love it.
that was with Reiner, and then after Reiner, we did a few routines together, and then I started dancing with Billy Marty,
Oh,
and
I have all
Billy
of
Marty
those
and
on
I,
video.
he just
So
taught me even more.
speaking
Yeah.
of
So
Rainer,
yeah, well, with Billy Marty, my yeah, so that's Reiner, and that is the routine, MacArthur Park.
yes,
This
we'll
is
we'll
my
get to
first
your work
time
with
doing
Billy in a
these
minute.
big lifts and tricks.
Yeah, Rainer's a great
Okay,
dancer.
but
I've
yeah,
danced with him before. He's
Reiner,
fabulous.
he's an amazing, amazing theater arts guy. Like, if you want to learn tricks and things like that, he's just really, really good.
I love that you
But
said
oh
that
my God, I'm
you
like
love to
kind of
fly.
stuck watching it.
I know, right? It's hard for my guests. Sometimes you guys
Oh, I
come on the
love to
show and I
fly.
start showing these videos and you're like, "Oh, I forgot." And you forget to like be part of the interview because you're like, "Oh my God, she found this video of me or whatever." But talk to me about you flying because I think this is one of the things that you and I really have in common. And I think one of the reasons why we both love hustle so much. We do love to fly. Oh no, I've lost her again. I think, guys, she's got a bad connection. So I'm going to let you enjoy this moment for a second. This is the routine she was talking about to MacArthur Park that she did with Reiner. It's a beautiful routine. As you can see, she can spin gorgeously. Here she's back now. Vera, I think you just got a bad connection, girl. I don't know why we keep losing you, but in the meantime,
I'm
they're seeing this
sorry.
beautiful dancing. So they'll get to enjoy that in the meantime. But
Sorry.
talk to me about you flying because, as I was saying, this is something I think you and I really have in common in terms of our love for hustle and the freedom that we feel, and also our love for being in the air. So, talk to me a little bit about flying and what the type of work you have to put in to be able to do it so effortlessly or make it look so effortless. Because a lot of people don't understand just
Well,
how hard it is for us in the air.
oh my God, it's it is it's hard because we have to control our body and basically be solid, you know, but without feeling heavy or yeah. So a lot of work goes into it. We Reiner and I used to stretch and work out before we'd start rehearsing, and we'd do that for about 45 minutes. We'd do push-ups, sit-ups, dips, handstand push-ups, and then aside from that, stretching, because we feel like it's really, really, really important to take care of your muscles and your joints. You can't just go into tricks and things and think you're going to have a long dance life if you don't treat your body right. So you really, really have to take care of yourself. We did that. So we definitely we rehearsed about 3 times a week for 3 hours a day, sometimes
Wow.
more. But yeah, it was really, really awesome. That experience was great.
You've had
And
the
then
fortune
apart
of
from that,
dancing
at
with a
Dance
lot of great
Spirit,
guys.
so we had
Sorry, there's
yes, I
yeah,
know, and all of them were older, which is nice because they taught me so much. Can you hear
and
me
I
now?
think yes, now I can. You were cutting in and out for a second. I do believe this is you
Sharonne?
and Billy now. Yeah, can you hear me? I don't know what's going on, guys. I think she's having some
Sorry
problems
about
with
that.
connection. Are you good? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So this is you and Billy, correct?
Yes. So that's in Toronto. Um, this routine is jam packed with tricks, trick after trick after trick. The stamina, we had to rehearse so much for this. So on top of rehearsing with Reiner, I was also rehearsing with Billy at one point because I was kind of dancing with both of them. They kind of overlapped. So it was just that time was just nuts. I was doing tricks all day long, every single day. It was amazing.
I'm curious because you were dancing with both of them at the same time and there was this overlap and all the tricks. Did you ever come out of rehearsals or like wake up one morning and you'd like find a bruise from some trick and you're like, now who did that one to me? And what trick was that from? What I call unidentified dancing injuries.
Yes, yes, for sure.
Did you find it
Oh,
difficult at all going back and forth between these two guys? Because every partner is so different.
yeah, but no, I didn't find it hard because they just both had their own styles, and it actually complemented both. Being able to dance with both. Some tricks would get a little bit tricky because we did do the same tricks, and maybe Billy would do it slightly different than Reiner. So I would have to really, really tune into that and not do the same things with Reiner as I did with Billy. So that was
That's
fun
really
too.
hard.
Ooh, the
So, I mean,
corkscrew.
yeah, girl, look at you working it.
The
She spins,
corkscrew.
she flies,
So
she does everything.
so that corkscrew, it's so fun. It's funny because, well, to me, I don't know why, but it's kind of simple for me, but the crowd loves it. The crowd just goes wild when that move comes on.
I know. For some reason, crowds
Oh,
really love stuff like corkscrew turns. But I would think that with all
yeah.
the tricks you have going on, like you said, this routine is crazy packed with tricks. I would feel like at that point they would just be like in a constant state of like you hear the audience make those noises.
Yes, and then not to mention this is a West Coast swing event, and
Uh,
West Coast swing, they're fully clothed. And look at me,
yes.
I'm naked. Like everybody was like, "Oh my god."
This is true. You normally do see West Coast swing dancers in like the full gear, long pants or whatever, even for the women. So very, very true. They
Yeah.
were probably shocked by this. Unfortunately, I could not find really any West Coast swing videos of you, which really broke my heart because I think you dance West Coast swing so beautifully. I actually was
Oh,
specifically looking for one video. I'm going to reference, or since there's no video, I'm just going to reference it and you talk to me about it. So I believe the year was 2018, and we were at IHSC, and they have the triple threat division. So normally they do two there. They do salsa, hustle, bachata, and there's
cha-cha.
hustle, salsa, West Coast swing. And I remember you were competing with Tybalt. It was like a last minute thing. And there weren't enough people signed up for the professional one with West Coast, but there were enough couples in the one that had bachata. And the two of you decided to do your West Coast swing during the
To
bachata music,
bachata.
to bachata.
I know.
And I just remember watching and my jaw was on the floor. Like, I know that there were other couples. I'm sure they all danced really well. I don't think I watched anything anybody else was doing because I was so blown away by the fact that you guys stuck to your genre and you made it work so seamlessly with a bachata song.
Oh.
So can you talk to me about that process, please? Because I'm sure for anyone that was there and watching, like me, they were like, how are they doing this?
Well, I do have to give a lot of credit to Tybalt because Tybalt is such a musical guy. He's amazing with
Mhm.
musicality. Even when he dances hustle, he's so musical. It's so fun. But for that, we didn't prepare for that. That was spontaneous. We didn't know we were going to be dancing West Coast to bachata. But again, the show must go on. And
Yep.
so we made it work. We made it work. I think I was just as surprised as you were. So it was just spontaneous.
But it was
That
so
was fun.
great. I mean, do you feel with West Coast, I know you were talking about how you like what you love about hustle compared to salsa is that you have that freedom a little bit more. You're not as, stuck. West Coast swing, I feel, has even more freedom than
Yes,
hustle.
it does.
So where do you stand? Like, do you prefer West Coast to hustle, or are you still hustle over West Coast? I'm just curious.
I still love the hustle, even though I love West Coast swing too.
Mhm.
Again, the beginning stages of each dance is always the most fun for me. So when I first started learning West Coast swing, I was having the time of my life, you know? Like I'm still learning actually. I'm still learning
Agreed.
West Coast swing, but I feel like hustle is where my heart and soul is. I don't know how to explain it, but when I dance hustle, I just go into a trance. I don't know. It's just awesome. I love the hustle.
I totally feel you on that one.
Oh.
I sympathize completely.
Not to say salsa's bad or anything. I love all
Of
styles
course
of
not.
dance, but I prefer hustle. I feel just more myself, you know, like I feel more like Veronica than salsa. I feel like I'm trying to be someone, but hustle, it's like, oh, that's me, you know, like it's fun.
I think what you just said there was
And
so powerful and so succinct. Like, when you dance hustle, you're Vero, and when you're dancing salsa, you're trying to be, you know what I mean? Like, and I feel like we all do that as
yeah,
artists, but it's so important to know what really, fills your heart, and I feel you can tell when you watch somebody perform or even social dance, you can tell when something really connects with somebody's soul, and I definitely see that from you. I mean, I see it with that with whatever you're dancing. I never watch you and go, "Oh, she's not in it," or "She's not feeling it," but there is definitely a different energy to you when you're dancing hustle.
yes,
So,
yes,
I love
yes.
it.
Ooh,
Another
oh
gorgeous
my God, that routine was
non-existent
crazy.
costume.
I know. It's
Was
because,
this
okay,
also
let
a
me just
West Coast swing
explain.
event? Were you trying to give them a heart attack?
No, no, this was hustle, but this was okay. The song is called Desnúdate,
Okay,
which means get naked. So that's what I did. I got naked, you know? So it was
fair enough.
just what the lyrics were saying. Although I did fight with my coach about taking the red dress off later. Like I said we should do it later on in the routine, and he said no, we should do it at the beginning. So then I was pretty much naked for the whole routine, but it doesn't matter, whatever. It was fun.
This is a fun costume. Who decides your costumes? Who makes them? Do you come up with the design? How does that work for you?
So this one, yes, I did pretty much come up with the design. I knew that I wanted a one-legged pant. And so I went to my seamstress and I just told her what I wanted, and she kind of designed it right there on the spot. And I said yes, and then she made it. That woman is incredible. Her name was Valentina, but I don't think she does costumes anymore.
She doesn't. We used to use her also. She was in Brooklyn.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
amazing,
she
but
she
she
went back
doesn't
to
do
Russia.
costumes. Oh my God.
One of my
Well,
favorite
this
costumes from AIM was made by her. I loved her work.
her costumes are amazing because the rhinestones just never fall off. You know,
I
like I don't know
know.
how she does it, but her costumes are always like made really well, really well.
They last forever. She always did fantastic quality. We were very upset when we found out that she had left and gone back to Russia because
I
she was
know.
just
Me
phenomenal, and
too.
it's so hard to find a good seamstress.
Yes.
It is so hard. But, I
Yes, it
wanna talk to
is.
you I wanna talk to you about something that I really admire about you. Um, you see a lot of women in the business, and they are with a company or with a partner, and they're married to it and whatnot, and that's their identity, just, you're part of this. But you, on the other hand, my dear, are beyond versatile. I mean, you dance with multiple teams, multiple companies, multiple partners. Uh, you're so in demand as an artist. And I think that's something a lot of women artists really want to achieve and don't know how. Because for a majority of dancers, you start with a company, you start taking classes at a school, whatever, you join a semi pro team, maybe you move up to a pro team, but your identity is wrapped up in that company, right? So if you
Yes.
go, like you're normally leaving and trying to start over, but it doesn't seem like you ever had to leave to start over. You kind of keep your relationships going. Like you said, you started with Dancing with Nelson in what, 2007? And I've seen you up
Yes.
until recently performing. I mean, obviously pre-COVID, but I saw you even recently, still performing with this Gaga Latina, and you
Yes.
dance with New York Movement and Team Fajardo. And I mean, talk to us about that. You establishing yourself outside of your companies, but still as part of those companies, because I think that is extremely beneficial advice for any woman trying to be in this industry.
Um, okay. Well, I guess I have to say that I don't want to sound like if I didn't respect Nelson or anything like that, but when that man, Arthur Gilliams, when he came up to me and asked me to dance with Reiner, never once in my mind did I think, oh, I'm going to go ask Nelson for permission. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
I was just like, this is an opportunity, and this guy is offering me lifts and tricks, which I love, and I can't give that up. So I didn't really ask Nelson if I could dance with Reiner. I just kind of did it,
Okay.
and then and then I mean, that could have gone either way. He could have gotten really upset and been like, okay, then go with Reiner.
Yeah.
But that also has to do with him, the type of person he is too, because
Agreed.
I think he understood that what Reiner was giving me was something different, like it wasn't salsa, so it wasn't competing with him. That's West Coast swing, Sharonne.
I found one. I found one.
Okay, okay.
One. I only got one.
Okay.
Mad,
but
mad
but
Jam.
yeah,
Love it.
so I mean, back to Nelson. I think Nelson, I mean, I don't know if he was okay with me dancing with somebody else, but he didn't really say anything until much, much, much later. Like, he later on confessed to me that he couldn't really watch us dance because, well, I was his dance partner, and we didn't have anything romantic. Like, it wasn't like that, but just the fact that I was his partner and now I was dancing with another man, like, that's kind of weird. And to him, he said back in the day was taboo. But to me, I was like, well, why not? I mean, with Reiner, I'm going to dance hustle and I'm going to get to learn theater arts. And with Nelson, I'm dancing salsa and traveling the world. Like, it's different. To me, in my mind, it was different. So that's how I kept it. And I basically said, well, as long as my rehearsals with Reiner do not interfere with my rehearsals with Nelson, then I think I can make this work. And I feel like that's how I always managed my schedule. Regardless of what partners I had, I just made sure that none of the rehearsals would conflict, and that each partner or each team or each company felt like I had their undivided attention. You know what I mean? And so when I went to Reiner, and then after I was with Reiner and I moved on with Billy, the thing is that with Reiner, we were only competing. So we were only going to New York Hustle Congress, IHSC, different events, right, to compete. But with Billy, Billy was like, hey, well, I already have an in West Coast Swing, in the West Coast Swing community. Would you like to come and perform with me at these gigs or these congresses? And so there again, what Reiner was giving me was different from what Billy was giving me. Billy was giving me congresses and traveling to West Coast Swing events, and also giving me the opportunity to learn West Coast Swing as well. So at the same time, I was learning and whatever. So with Billy, I got that. And with Reiner, I got this. And with Nelson, I got that. And I just continued those relationships. And I feel like that's how my career has just continued. And then after Billy, then I believe Fausto contacted me and was like, hey, I'm putting together this team. We need a girl. Would you like to come? And I was like, yeah, when are rehearsals? And as long as it didn't interfere with Billy, Reiner, and Nelson, I was able to do New York Movement. Well, at the time, at the time it was Team New York. So
Yes, I
yeah, it was
remember
just,
that.
that's how it went. Yeah.
It's
So that's
very
how
true.
it went. I basically, respected everyone and everyone's time. I would like to say I hope I did.
I'm sure you did. I mean, I
Yeah.
think if you hadn't, they wouldn't all be so keen on continuing to work with you. So I think that would be a pretty fair assessment. It's funny that you said that before it was taboo. Nelson said it was taboo back in the day for people to have more than one partner. When you look at today's climate, it's almost like we're all timeshares. Like,
Yeah.
you get this person for a few days, and then you go over there, and then you dance with I mean, we've all, like, cross danced with each other, like, you have all these partners, like, I've competed with Darlin and Edwin at the same event, like, I'll do hustle with one and salsa with the other. You've We did the same we split Edwin at one congress competition. You did hustle and I did salsa. Everyone's a
Yeah.
timeshare. But what I love about that for this scene is we get to learn from each other. And we get to grow with each other
Yes.
because we do all of that.
Yes.
You know, it gives us a different perspective and a way to see things differently. So, do you have a
Mhm.
preference between teaching, performing, and competing? If you had to choose which of the three, if you could
Mm.
only do one, what would it be?
I That's a hard one, Sharonne. I
Oh,
mean,
I
it's
didn't
hard
say this
because
would
I
be
I love
easy.
I love all three. I love teaching, I love performing, and I love like competing is another animal. I feel like when I compete, it's like I'm a bull, like being like go out the gate. Like I just feel like that's my energy, and I really love it. Like I love competing, but performing performing is amazing when you get that energy from the crowd. Is just so much that's so much fun. And then when you're teaching your students, I get a lot of satisfaction from watching them grow. So I love that too. But a ver, if I have to choose, I think I'm going to say competing because it definitely brings you to a higher level like faster. So I
Agreed. It's
might
that
say
push we all
competing.
need. It's that
Yes.
push we need when we're feeling a little stagnant and we need to take things to the next
Yeah.
level. That competition
Yeah.
definitely
I
helps
think
for
so.
that, for sure. Um,
Yeah.
so I would like to talk to you about if I just gotta get fast forward to this video. Oh, here we go. No, there's a commercial. Give me a second. YouTube is not playing games with me today on this playlist because I have something really fun I wanna show, and I
Okay.
need it to come up. So, here we go. I'm gonna talk about World Salsa Summit for a second.
Mm.
New York movement. This was the year I believe that it went from being Team New York to New York movement, correct?
Yes. Yes.
That's a lot of
Oh my
powerhouses.
gosh. Ah, it was so much fun.
What was it like being on a team like this, right? This isn't a team where you have a director and then a whole bunch of members. You are all established, seasoned professionals coming together. So, talk to
Yeah.
me about this experience and what it was like working with all these other instructors, if you will.
So I loved it. Um, I loved it because, like you said, we all basically learned from each other, and that's how we got along. Like it's. I know that we're all like top professionals, and we're supposed to have egos and all this stuff, but to be honest with you, we didn't. It was just we understood who was good at what, and like who was gonna put, like, let's say somebody's good at shines, well, they're gonna put in the shines, and somebody's good at partner work, they'll put the partner work. Somebody's good at lifts and tricks, insert Veronica, and then so different things like that, and we all really we really really respected each other, and we knew our places. It was just so fun. It was really really awesome to work with all of these amazing dancers. I mean, I'm still with some of them, not all of them, but
Yes, the
it's
team has
always fun.
changed a little bit over the years for sure. There have been some new members come in and some old members leave. But I mean, y'all just keep crushing it year after year. Y'all kept crushing it. It's a beautiful thing to
There,
see.
it is.
This
It
was
was really awesome that we decided we were like, we're not going to have a director. We're not going to have a choreographer. We're going to do everything ourselves. So it was it was good and bad at times, you know. There's pros and cons to everything, but we made it work. So this is our second routine verano in Nueva York,
mhm. I this was a
which
fabulous
that
routine.
was thank you. Oh my
We were
god.
all
If
wondering
you
how
only
you guys
knew
were gonna
the
top yourselves from the year before. We were like, "How will New York Movement come out and outdo themselves?" But you did. You found a way to do it.
Oh,
Good little
oh
Vero in
my
the front
gosh.
flying
So
around
this
like
time
crazy.
so this just a fun fact. Oh my gosh, our costumes, we hadn't even rhinestoned our costumes until 2 nights before the comp. Actually, not even. The day we were about to compete, we were still rhinestoning our costumes. It was
Oh,
insane. This year was one to remember.
I think I've lost count at
Uh,
how many times we've all been stoning like costumes at a competition right before, because there's no such thing as too many stones on a costume. No
True.
such thing. I mean, we're all
That's
dancers. We
true.
love rhinestones. I mean, hello, I stoned my own microphone
I
because
love it.
rhinestones are life. I absolutely love it. So this was how many titles have you guys won together as a team?
I think hold on, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6.
6 ones?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
6. So the World Salsa Summit, we won 3 years. 1, 2, 3. And then we did Puerto Rico and we did the ESPN championship.
I
So that,
forgot that
wait,
you
that's
guys did
5.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, the Puerto Rico Open.
I don't know how I forgot
Or
about that
maybe it's
one.
5. Oh
This was
no. So this is the one where wait, actually, okay, 4 routines at the summit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Puerto Rico and ESPN. Yeah,
so you forgot one?
I forgot this one. Believe it or not, I forgot this one.
I mean, it's always such a great experience doing something like this with a team at Summit because you're putting in so much work and, the adrenaline that you feed off of each other on stage is just so powerful, like, it can be contagious. When you guys are getting ready
Yes.
to go on backstage, do you have one person on the team that's, like, the hype man that's, like, getting you all, like, ready to go and smacking everybody's butts and being like, "Let's do this, team." I'm just curious, who is that person of New York Movement? Spill the
I
tea,
have to
girl.
say Fausto and Jacob.
Both of them?
I think the both of them, yeah, they're both like animals when they go backstage. Like they're fun. Yeah, they have all this energy and they just like want to go. But
It's so funny, you can
one
watch these
thing
routines
that
and see the multiple hair colors of Fausto over the years.
yeah, yeah.
What are you gonna say?
Oh, just that aside from getting hype and all of that, we have a really special what do you call it? Like we actually always pray before we go out there. And what's really nice is that Ernesto and Denise have a friend who prays. The first time we were going out at the summit, he prayed for us, and gosh, like we all got goosebumps, and we just like felt the energy and stuff. And ever since then, he's been praying for us. And then if he's not available to get on the phone and pray with us, we do it ourselves. But that's another thing that really helps us like get together and just be in tune and be grateful for what we have, and that we're able to just dance and compete and do this for a living. So that too, like that also gets us ready. Ooh.
Talk to me about this real quick. This was a debut performance, I believe, not that long ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. So believe it or not, this is my student.
What?
Yes, ma'am. He's my student. He's not a pro. He came to me for private lessons, and he at the time when he came to me, New York movement was, like competing and at the height and stuff. And so he saw us and he really wanted to do the things we were doing. And so I put together two routines for him. This is the second one. There's another one before this one, but Ernesto
Mhm.
and Denise helped choreograph the routines. But yeah, I mean, this guy, he was really, really dedicated and he really, really wanted to learn, as you can see. So, yeah.
I am curious. This is something I talked about with a toy. For those of us that fly as instructors, we're always, dealing with risk of injury, right? Because it's very dangerous what we do when we fly. When you're working with a student that wants to do a pro-am cabaret, do you ask them to get an amateur partner to practice with? Like, what steps do you take to protect yourself from getting hurt because they're a student? I mean, as great as he is, like, this is our career, this is our livelihood. So if we get hurt, we're screwed. As you said, when you were little and you got, or whatever, you were younger and you got bit on the butt, the first thing you asked the doctor was, "Can I perform?"
I know. So, to be honest, when we're doing tricks, I try my best to do. I mean, who's that? Hi, I don't know. Oh, Ernesto.
Ernesto.
Hey. So, when I'm doing tricks with students, I do definitely take it a lot slower and we do things a lot more carefully. But no, I don't ask him to get an amateur partner because it's kind of like the blind leading the blind and they might get hurt themselves. So it's almost better for me to do it with him than somebody who doesn't really know what they're doing. Um, but I guess my experience with tricks really helps me a lot with amateurs and stuff. Oh my god, I
Do you
can't
use
believe this routine. Oh my god.
do you ever use mats or anything when you're practicing these tricks? Or is it just hardwood floor and you pray for your life?
Sometimes we use mats and sometimes not. So, yeah. I mean, when we don't use mats, yes, I do pray for my life and I just hope to God that it turns out well.
This was
Oh,
a
Team
one of the only
Fajardo.
videos I could find of the 3-couple version of this. So,
Yeah.
talk to me about the experience of being part of Team Fajardo because this is a fabulous routine. This is one of my favorite pieces of all time. It always gives me goosebumps when I watch it. So, give me your experience of doing this routine.
So, you know how I told you that when I'm dancing salsa, I feel like I'm trying to be somebody else? When I'm doing these routines, I feel like I'm being myself in a way because these routines are so lyrical and you're flying and I just love it. I love I love this routine and all the tricks that we do. Atoy is amazing, and Jessica, oh my God, Elvis and Edwin, I can't say enough, and Billy. It's just this team is just awesome. I was so happy to be a part of this.
It's like a bunch of
It's
superstars
amazing.
on stage and so fluid and so
Oh,
beautiful. I mean, it really is one of my favorite routines that I've ever seen, period. And all 3 of you ladies just dance it so beautifully together. You all look like one. I think I one time jokingly said to Billy, I said, I will cut bangs and dye my hair dark if it means I can do this routine. I will twin it out with the rest of them just so I could do it.
oh,
But you guys do. I mean, this is not easy by any means. All of these tricks are so difficult and you make it seem so flawless.
oh.
Do you
There.
always dance
I
with
mean,
these partners?
What do you mean? You mean like if I dance with Edwin or
Like if you do a Team Fajardo routine, are these the partnerships that are locked in, or do you guys alternate partners?
me for the most part, I get Edwin.
Okay.
But whenever it's two couples, I think Jessica might dance with Edwin or she might dance with Elvis, depending on if Billy Fajardo is performing. If Billy's performing, then he gets Atoy. So they pretty much switch, but I usually stay with Edwin when we do the three-person routine.
And it's probably convenient for you because you guys dance together also with New York Movement, so you have like the extra time together to practice, I would think.
Yeah,
Again, I'm just assuming.
yeah, we
So
do.
this I
We do.
found
We do.
because you and Edwin
Hmm.
got to travel together and work together so much. I found this one performance,
Oh,
which when I
yes,
found
that
it,
was our
I was like,
hustle.
that's the same song Darlin and I used for our last hustle, but like a different version of that song. Same
Oh,
song, but a
yes.
different edit.
Look at
And I
that
was like,
man.
wait a minute. I know this track, but I don't, this is a different version. But I had never seen this performance. Where was this?
We did this in not St. Thomas, but Ernesto, help me out if you remember. Um, Martinique or something like that. One of those islands down there. But we only did it
Okay.
once. We only did this routine once.
Any chance you'll bring it back once things get back to normal?
Possibly.
I love
Possibly.
it.
Ooh.
Nice. I remember you telling me that you guys were, because you guys had time and you were traveling together for New York Movement, you were like, well, why don't we just do a hustle routine and threw something together?
Yeah.
Something along those lines was the conversation. And I was like, yeah, okay. And of course, phenomenal.
Ooh, look at that man.
I
I
love
love
it.
it. Edwin, he's so good.
He's so good. I wish he was watching. I don't know if he's watching. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. He hasn't commented. For all the gentlemen that have been called out in today's video, I hope none of you are embarrassed. I hope we didn't mock you. And if you are a little embarrassed, well, you signed up for the public life, so deal with it. You chose to be an
That's
artist, so
right.
you're in these videos. It is what it is. This was, oh, for the love of God, another commercial. We'll get to it. We're actually almost out of time. Unfortunately, I did want to show one more video. I'll let it load up. But in
Okay.
the meantime, what do you have coming up? Right? Everyone's had a little bit of a reset time, if you will, because of COVID. So what's coming up for you in the future? What can we look forward to in terms of new projects from you?
Well, I really, really, really want to focus on the hustle. So I'm hoping that I can get some of that going, like some routines, either with a partner or teams. So I really want to get that going here in New York, and the New York movement. We're gonna get back together, but we're trying to figure out when and what's coming up and what we're preparing for.
Mhm.
And what else?
You just started a
I'm
hustle
not sure.
shine class last night, right?
Oh, so I did late styling last night, and on Mondays I do partner work. It's
Okay.
going really well. The space is limited, but I had a lot of people show up already, so I'm really happy for that. But yeah, it's going to continue for 2 more weeks. Then I'm going home to Texas, and then in June I'm starting back up again with more classes and more parties and things like that.
Have you done the virtual teaching? I do remember seeing you guys did the workshops with Team Fajardo Day, where I got to take workshops with all of you, and that was so much fun. Have you been doing a lot of virtual teaching outside of that, or has it just been more in person for you?
No, I haven't been doing any virtual. I've been doing private lessons because it's one on one, and I feel safer with that.
Of
But
course.
no, no virtual, not yet. Ooh, that's the one where she loses her shoe.
There, you see Edwin kick it away. It's in the back, and at one point
And
he like kicked
you
it
know,
out of the way.
he thought it was my shoe because
Really?
Kate threw it. Yeah, well, she threw it back and it landed right behind Edwin and I. And we had just done trick and he sees a shoe on the floor and he thought it was mine. And but no, then he kicked it and he realized that obviously it was somebody else because I was fine.
Talk about the show must go on. Kate won Summit that year.
Man, this routine.
This routine was sick.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, she
absolutely
kept
sick.
going.
By the
Oh,
way,
thank
somebody
you.
responded that performance with Edwin the Hustle was in Guadalupe, St.
Guadalupe?
Martin, in St. Martin.
Oh, St. Martin. Yeah, St. Martin. That's where it was.
Yeah. Well, the person commented
Oh
twice.
my
They
God,
said
look at
St.
Fausto
Martin,
upside
and
down.
then they said, no, it's Guadalupe, Veronica. I was there. Delano was saying this.
Oh,
He's calling you
okay,
out.
okay.
He is
Oops.
calling you
It's too
out.
many places. I can't remember everywhere.
Do you have a favorite place that you've gone to visit in all of your
I
travels?
have to say Trinidad. Yes, I have to say Trinidad is one of my favorites. It's like I just love the people. I love the food. I love soca. Um, it's just an awesome event. If whoever's listening, if y'all ever get the chance to go to TNT Trinidad Salsa Fiesta, it is just
Yeah.
awesome. It's so much fun.
We got to go one time with you guys, and that was so much fun.
Right?
And it was thanks to Nelson bringing us out at the last minute because some artist had a problem with their visa and they couldn't come, and we saw Nelson and Destiny at Connecticut the weekend before, and IHSC was the weekend after Trinidad, and they were like, "What are you guys doing this weekend? Do you want to go to Trinidad? We need another artist." And we were like, yeah, I'll be there. No problem. Done."
That's great. That's awesome because that's how we got the gig. Nelson and I got the gig because somebody couldn't make it and they called, I think it was Marchant and Davina. They called
Mhm.
Nelson and they said, "Hey, are you available?" And we went. And then after that, we just have been going every single year. It's been really fun.
The atmosphere there is so amazing. It really is.
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
before we sign off, one last major question for you that I ask all of my guests. If you
Mm-hmm.
could pick one piece of advice to give to women who want to be in this industry, what would it be?
Mm, I would say don't lose yourself. Don't try to be somebody else. Like don't try to be like everyone else. Stay true to yourself and carry on because no one's like you, so continue being you and all good things will happen, I feel, because once you start trying to be like somebody else, it's not authentic, and I guess people can see that. So I would say be yourself and continue.
Such good advice. I hope all the girls that are
Oh.
listening, all the ladies that are listening that want to be in this business, I hope you took that to heart. Be you, do you, trust yourself. Veronica, thank you
Mm-hmm.
so much for being here today and joining me.
Yeah.
Let everybody know where they can follow you, where they can get information about your classes and everything.
Well, follow me on Facebook, Veronica Castilla, or Instagram at Veronica-Castilla-NYM for New York Movement. So that's all.
All right. Well, there you go, guys. This is Veronica Castilla. I'm your host, Sharonne Vinokurov. That does it for this week's episode of Women of Dance. Next week, I'm having back on the show because we couldn't get her episode in. Christina Piedra will be back. We will sit down with her next week and talk all things her. So thank you, Vero. Love you so much. Can't wait to see you again. Mwah.
Love you, Sharonne. Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure.
I
Have
wish
a
you
good day,
all
guys.
success with this. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.